Il tema dell'Africa, il tema dei migranti, i rapporti dell'Italia e dell'Europa con l'Africa è un tema che io sento moltissimo personalmente, e anche Paschisti lo sente. Il motivo per cui ho questa sensibilità deriva da quando ero un ragazzino, che a casa mia ospitavamo un missionario della diocesi di Lucca che viveva in Ruanda, che aveva un approccio già all'epoca molto avanzato rispetto agli approcci che sapevamo, che era quello di una forma di colonialismo sostanziale anche da parte dei missionari. E lui ha lavorato tantissimo in Ruanda, è tornato anche nel periodo della guerra civile, e tutto questo mi è rimasto dentro, e ho sempre voluto fare qualcosa sull'Africa. Da quando sono dentro Pascristi, questa è la mia intenzione da circa 20 anni. In realtà per buona parte del tempo ho parlato di Palestina, poi nel tempo le cose sono evolute, sono entrato nel Consiglio nazionale, eccetera eccetera. L'occasione di affrontare più in dettaglio l'Africa ci viene da qualche anno. Anche con la nostra rivista Mosaico di Pace abbiamo affrontato alcune problematiche, abbiamo cercato di parlare, di fare articoli. Uno degli articoli, ad esempio, che è uscito è una recensione di un libro sulla Repubblica Centrafricana, che è uscito sulla nostra rivista, però questo secondo me non era assolutamente sufficiente. L'occasione di occuparci approfonditamente dei migranti poi è passata tramite Nello Scavo, che è stato ospite nostro di Avvenire, il quale alcuni anni fa era entrato in possesso di una serie di registrazioni di migranti intrappolati in Libia. Però poi questo non ha avuto grossi sviluppi. Dal mio punto di vista, la chiave di volta di questo incontro odierno è l'incontro con Michelangelo Severnini, che da alcuni anni si occupa proprio specificamente di questo problema e ha realizzato un documentario che vedremo alla fine della giornata, nel pomeriggio, dopo gli interventi di 3 rappresentanti della società civile, chiamiamola africana, un rappresentante della Nigeria, uno della Zambia e uno della Costa d'Avorio. Questi sono tutti contatti, appunto, che Michelangelo nel tempo si è creato, ed è fondamentale dal mio punto di vista proprio questo aspetto, quello di dare voce agli africani, ed è per questo motivo che abbiamo intitolato la giornata di oggi "Dare voce agli africani", perché spesso in Italia continuiamo a parlare di Africa, ma sempre dal nostro punto di vista, sia che sia il lato buono o il lato cattivo, il lato dello sfruttamento, il lato paternalistico della questione, sono sempre 2 facce della medaglia di questo approccio colonizzatore che noi abbiamo nei loro confronti. Quindi è fondamentale cominciare a capovolgere questo aspetto. Domani poi entreremo nel dettaglio anche negli aspetti che riguardano l'integrazione dei migranti in Italia. Avremo come ospite Ivan Sagné, che è un noto sindacalista di origine senegalese, che ci parlerà proprio dei migranti, dello sfruttamento nel sud. Poi avremo un video interessante che parla dell'integrazione di vari gruppi etnici che si sono integrati nel tessuto lavorativo in Piemonte, e avremo modo anche di discutere su quello. Prima di tutto però abbiamo un intervento da parte della co-presidente di Pascristi Wachira Wamuyu, con cui sono stato nel Consiglio internazionale per alcuni anni.
Vabbè, almeno ti vedo, continua.
Scusate, le ho chiesto oggi di fare una piccola introduzione. Lei è originaria, vive in Kenya, e la ringrazio per essere qui oggi, e quindi ora ascolteremo. Scusate che l'audio non è dei migliori, quindi speriamo di tradurre in maniera opportuna. Michelangelo Severnini farà la traduzione per noi. Wamuyu, just introduced you, and I said it's a pleasure for us you to be here today, and in the name of Pax Christi International. And I also mentioned the fact that we are friends since we were in the national board, in the international board a few years ago. And
Yes.
it's really a pleasure that today you are here with us. And please tell us something, some message to start this meeting, this important meeting where we try to give voice to Africa, to African people, not to speak with the Italian voices in the name of Africans, which is something we have to start to stop. And please, you have 5-10 minutes. You please. Thanks.
Yes, so thank you, Franco, and alert me when it's near the time. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can.
Yes, as Franco has introduced me, I am the co-president, one of the co-presidents of Pax Christi. We work with the Bishop Emeritus, Max Tonje from France, and I'm very, very happy to be invited to be with you here. Pax Christi Italy is very, very special to Pax Christi organization because there's so much of good work that goes on there. Good work about peace.
Yes,
Peace.
stop. Sometimes stop. We can translate.
You can, okay, so I'm okay. The speed is okay. So
okay, go ahead.
Okay, so I'm very proud of Pax Christi Italy because of the work that is going on there, creating cultures of peace using nonviolent ways, because that is also the vision and mission of Pax Christi International. Throughout the globe, we are working together, trying to help our people, not only in Africa, but across the world, to deal with the challenges of our world today, especially the issues of conflicts in a non-violent way. And this is not easy. It means people are putting their lives online. And so I thank each one of you, the members of Pax Christi International, especially the membership in Italy. Now, I'd like to say something about Africa and how I think Africa connects with the rest of the world. Africa is a great continent with so much resources, natural resources. We have parks where we have different types of animals. We have trees and beauty all over us. And of course, beautiful people of Africa who come from different communities, ethnic communities, but each with their own richness and beauty. That is Africa. However, also Africa is one of the continents that has deep-rooted conflicts. Conflicts that are making people not live their lives to the full. As Jesus Christ said, he came that all may have life and have it to the full. The conflicts in Africa, which are across the whole continent of Africa, and in some parts it's widespread, in other parts it's in different places which we call hotspots. For instance, we have deep-rooted conflicts in the Democratic Republic of Congo. Children are born there not knowing peace. They only know war since they were born. We have children also in South Sudan and the Sudan. Also equally, some of them have never experienced peace. Right now, I have a student, I'm a lecturer at a university, and I have a student there who told me he was born during war and he has never experienced peace. And even told me he carries an arm because every time they have to carry arms since they are being bombed from time to time. So he has to protect his father. He has to protect his family. but he tells me, look, I am learning about peace. And I would like peace. I am for peace. I am for non-violence. But what do I do in this situation where I cannot pray in peace? I cannot eat in peace. I cannot talk to my friends in peace. I have to keep hiding from the bombs that sometimes are rampant. So he's saying, I will have peace, but what option do I have? So these are the people we need to speak to, that of course, wars are not the solution for peace. But how do we do this? So you find that, yes?
Second, we translate.
Okay, that's okay.
Allora, va bene, saluti. Dunque, felice di essere stata invitata, di essere qui con noi. Pax Christi Italia in particolare è una realtà molto speciale che condivide la visione della missione di Pax Christi internazionale. Bisogna aiutare le persone non solo in Africa, il problema principale sono i conflitti. L'Africa è un grande continente ricco di risorse naturali e di bellezze, ovviamente anche le persone sono bellissime e appartengono a differenti etnie, ma il problema principale sono i conflitti che sono radicati nel continente, così le persone non trascorrono la loro vita al meglio delle loro possibilità. Il conflitto diffuso in particolare nella Repubblica del Congo, ci sono bambini che non conoscono la pace, sono nati in tempo di guerra, in particolare citava la testimonianza di uno di loro che appunto diceva: io sono nato che già c'era la guerra e non ho mai visto la pace, e noi, dice lei, dobbiamo proteggere queste persone innanzitutto, e poi continua con la testimonianza di questo bambino che diceva: io sono per la pace e queste sono le persone con cui noi dobbiamo lavorare. So you can go on, please.
Okay, thank you. Now, these conflicts are fought not by weapons of mass destruction, but they are fought using small arms and light weapons. And these conflicts lead to mass widespread migration of persons and also displacement of persons. And in that sense, it has implication on food security, health, education, human security, and also destabilization of a country, meaning that we cannot reach sustainable development. Therefore, you have a child being born and dying before even they reach the age of 5. But where do these arms come from? Africa does not have the capacity to make a lot of arms. Maybe scattered in some places, people will make homemade guns, but not many. So these weapons are coming from somewhere else, and they are coming through the different porous borders in all the countries. In my own country, Kenya, we have very many porous borders where arms can easily come in and go out. In the northern part of Kenya, we have conflicts. People are using arms to fight. In the DRC, we have weapons, and also the South Sudan and Sudan, and many other parts, as I've said, of Africa where there is fight. These arms are coming from outside. And that's where I come in about the relationship between Africa and the rest of the world, especially USA, Europe, we have Russia, and many other countries, especially of the powerful, what we refer to as powerful countries. So what we are asking those countries to do is to stop investing in the arms or any form of weapons, whether it's weapons of mass destruction, small arms or light weapons, to stop investing in that. Instead, invest in those areas I've talked about: food security, health, education, human security, and also in empowering the young people of the African countries, because a lot of young people in African countries have no jobs, they have no employment. So what happens is they then are easily targeted for the conflict. They are given small money to cause destabilization because they are trained as child soldiers to kill. And also they are used during politics when we have campaigns before elections, after elections, and during. You have the young people being used by politicians to cause violence. And this is what we are saying should be stopped. In Kenya right now, we are preparing for an election, which is going to take place in August. A lot of young people, you see them following the politicians, and there are some of them being involved in causing violence. And so that's what we are asking the Western world, the powerful worlds as we refer to them, to invest in people, to invest in those areas that matter to human beings, as opposed to arms.
Okay, thank you. I will provide a translation. Dunque, allora, lei dice, dunque, in questi conflitti che si svolgono in Africa non vengono utilizzate armi di distruzione di massa, ma armi leggere. Questo produce un conflitto continuato che però mina, per esempio, la sicurezza alimentare, l'educazione dei bambini e rende impossibile appunto uno sviluppo sostenibile. L'Africa però non produce armi, arrivano da altri paesi. Per esempio anche in Kenya, nel nord del Kenya ci sono dei conflitti in questo momento e le armi vengono dagli Stati Uniti, dall'Europa, dalla Russia, quindi lei chiede che vengano fermati questi investimenti di armi e che invece vengano i soldi investiti nell'educazione, nella sicurezza alimentare. Però il problema principale è la mancanza di lavoro per questi giovani e proprio questa mancanza di lavoro li attira poi nel conflitto. Per esempio i politici usano questi giovani per i propri interessi, in particolare qui in Kenya ad agosto ci saranno delle elezioni e possiamo vedere in questo momento che molti giovani sono stati praticamente pagati da questi politici per creare violenza e quindi per impressionare le persone in vista delle elezioni. È questo che lei suggerisce, appunto, degli investimenti per creare lavoro in Africa.
Thanks again.
Yes, so yeah, I would like to give the example of the current situation where Europe, the UK is saying that the people who are migrated there should be taken to Rwanda. And we do not support that position because it's causing pain, moving people from one country to another. And I don't believe this is being done in goodwill, that we are going to move people to a country that actually is developing. Rwanda has had genocide. The people are still suffering from trauma. So we cannot say that that country is out of trauma when we had such massive killings and the genocide. And then we are bringing in other refugees from other countries to come and settle there. And I believe that that's not the way to go. The way to go is not to displace people who are already displaced, but to help them find a home, to help them rebuild their lives, to help them find people that can appreciate that they have human rights like the rest of the people, that they need to settle their lives, put their lives together, take care of their children, take care of their lives, and lead that fullness of life that as Christians we are aware, where Jesus says he came to give life and have it to the full. The other issue I want to talk about is about women, because women are the backbone of a society. And when wars happen, women suffer the most. They have to carry their children. They have to take care of the elderly. they have to take care of themselves. And already women in Africa are in a disadvantaged position because women, most of the women are actually working in the homes, building homes because of the structures of what we call patriarchism in most of the African countries, where the men take the day. These women have to walk, in some countries have to walk many miles to get water. Water is basic right of every human being. And these women, some of them, like I give the example of Kenya in the north, we have wars, conflicts used, which are fought with arms. And these women sometimes are forced to carry arms to protect themselves as they go to fetch for water and look for food for their children. Some of them are also going long distances to give birth to their children because they do not have clinics near them. And that's why I'm saying we need to invest in those areas that really matter to people and to build the women of the African country to live full life, because they too are God's creation and they need to fulfill all their rights to freedom, rights to expression, and rights to lead their lives in dignity.
Allora, lei dice, voglio parlare di un altro argomento che è quello del tema delle donne. Devono pensare ai bambini, devono pensare al lavoro, devono pensare a loro stesse. Sicuramente sono svantaggiate in Africa perché sappiamo quanto si è diffuso il patriarcato. L'uomo spreca il tempo durante la giornata, la donna si deve occupare di tutto, tra le altre cose, tra le altre mansioni c'è quello di dover andare a recuperare l'acqua che non è sempre disponibile. Nel nord del Kenya, dove è in corso un conflitto, addirittura le donne sono costrette ad armarsi per difendersi, invece dovrebbero avere la possibilità di vivere una vita piena con diritto alla libertà e diritto alla libertà di espressione.
Now I'd like to conclude, and maybe you may have people who may have a question or two. In my conclusion is to thank Italy, because there are many organizations in my own country and in Africa where we have organizations that are taking care of schools. They have hospitals, clinics that are taking care of the sick, and many other areas where the people of Italy are involved in responding to these needs that I've talked about. However, while I'm saying that, we still need to up this, to challenge our governments. And that's what I'm asking in this forum. Challenge our governments to invest in those areas that I'm talking about. We already have organizations doing that, but I believe it's not enough. It's the governments that need to make a statement, to put their policies in line that everybody is equal in the whole world. So there should be no area in the world where people are living from hand to mouth. They are not living their fulfilled lives just because they don't have money, or because somebody else is kind of using their resources for their own benefit. We are aware of extractivism, where we have multinationals coming to Africa and destroying the environment as they take the gold, as they take the minerals, and that when they take it away, it's not helping the people. Instead, it's creating wars and destabilization. So what we are saying, if you are going to invest in Africa and invest on equal terms, that if there's trade, there is equal terms, that when you are dealing with trade in Africa, that we are dealing as equals, not in a exploitative way. So that's what I'm requesting, that we challenge our governments to that. We challenge them from bringing weapons, in fact, selling weapons to Africa, so that Africa can be stabilized. That's what you're asking, that we challenge our governments to do that.
Allora, lei dice ringrazio l'Italia perché anche qui in Kenya ci sono molte organizzazioni che lavorano nell'educazione, nel campo della sanità, eccetera, e quindi sono impegnati in tutti, per tutti quei bisogni che ho elencato, però bisogna anche sfidare i nostri governi e spingerli a investire in questi ambiti che ho elencato. Costringerli a fare in modo che le loro politiche poi siano in linea con le politiche che noi sosteniamo. Al contrario, c'è l'attività delle multinazionali che distruggono l'ambiente e quindi bisogna anche fare in modo che i nostri governi capiscono quanto sia importante invece investire equamente in maniera equa in Africa e per mettere fine allo sfruttamento. E al contrario, il modello sembra essere quello secondo cui bisogna mandare armi in Africa per perseguire la stabilità dell'Africa. Quindi è esattamente il contrario di quello che bisognerebbe fare.
Grazie.
Grazie. And we are waiting for you in Italy sometime.
I will come. I will come. I look for time. I'm hoping I'll be there before the end of the year.
There is a question before we go. After you, there will be Osita Osimenki, who is just connected with us. Good morning, Osita, and very happy to be that you are here. And in a few minutes, you will be able to tell us about the situation in Nigeria. So a question for...
hello. You mentioned Zulus, and I wondered what you want to say. It is very important. It's the situation with the Zulu people. Can you explain on your point of view on this group? Thank you.
The Zulu.
Yes.
Now, the Zulu people live in South Africa. Sorry, what would be the question about? Because Zulu, they're in South Africa, and that's a different part of the continent of Africa.
Maybe I didn't understand what you said at the beginning. I thought you mentioned the Zulu people, maybe not.
No.
Or if you have other information from what we can have here on other countries apart from the one you live in.
Okay. Yes, the situation, what I've been talking about actually affects, it's not about Kenya. I only gave some parts, examples of Kenya, but what I've talked about affects other African countries, like the conflicts fought using arms affect other parts of the continent. The issue of human security, the issue of health, the issue of people walking long distance to get water, especially the people in the rural areas. The issue of human security, that people live with fear and want, that is across Africa, not any specific country.
Ok, quindi dice, io ho parlato in particolare del Kenya, però quello che ho detto è chiaro che è condiviso da molti paesi in Africa, a cominciare dalla sicurezza personale, alla salute e all'approvvigionamento di acqua, soprattutto nelle aree rurali.
Also, I would like to add that Africa is very complex. If you look at the continent of Africa, it's like a jigsaw puzzle. The countries, they form a very nice jigsaw puzzle. And each of these countries has its own culture, its own policies, its own form of government. And therefore, we cannot generalize them. And I cannot, that's why I used Kenya, because that's where I live. That's the example I have. It would be wrong for me to generalize Africa, because we even have the west of Africa. We have the Eastern Africa. We have the Western Africa. We have the South Africa, and you have the Central. So you can see there are very many parts to Africa. And yet, I can say, as I've said, experiences are similar, but how those are approached or how they are lived, it will depend on each country. So for example, sometimes I've had people sending me to somebody in West Africa, but I'm in Eastern Africa. So there are long distances from one part of Africa to another. But we have them bordering. For example, you could have the ones in the north, they border each other. The ones in the west, they border each other. The ones in the east, and so on. However, there is commonality in that continent because of the people. Yeah.
Quindi lei dice che l'Africa è molto complessa, molto complicata, ognuno è fatto a suo modo, la sua propria cultura, la sua propria forma di governo, non si può generalizzare. Anche qui in Africa abbiamo un occidente, abbiamo un oriente, abbiamo un meridione, abbiamo un centro. Le esperienze possono essere simili, ma magari diverse sono gli approcci ai temi elencati. Io parlo in particolare dell'Africa